Micky, your first reflections after the game?
I'm fed up saying that. I'm not going to say disappointing, because that's just like, it seems like it's a throwaway comment. We didn't start the game anywhere near well enough. We were losing races and not competing well enough right up until they scored the first goal. You could see it coming. Did we speak about that before the game? Yeah, absolutely. The first thing that we said was we must make sure that we at least match the tempo of what the game's going to be, or we set the tempo. So we'd spoke about it all week and on the day, and we didn't. And then to lose a goal by allowing somebody to come across you at the back post isn't good enough. No, it's not good enough. When we work on it all the time, we speak about it all the time, it's a cheap goal to lose. And then we kind of huff and puff, but we don't really stamp our character on the game enough. The game becomes a bit bitty then, and we don't stamp what we are about, our character on the game enough, by getting it down or getting it wide or creating anything. We had, to be fair, Norman, I think we had a couple of real opportunities that we could have got back into the game with, and then we had a real good couple of opportunities that with an easy pass we could have created a better opportunity, but didn't do it. So coming at half time, still very much in the game. Started the second half, again the game was probably a little bit bitty, and we give away a free kick, and we allow a cheap goal from a set play, allowing somebody for some reason to stand in front of us and get a flick on it, and it goes in, and then we've got it all to do. But there's still plenty of time to go, so then we try and bring on a wee bit of desire and freshness from the bench, a wee bit of different mentality, and young Jake comes on and I think and does that, just running around and trying to get involved in the game. And he does that and gets us back in it with sort of 20 minutes to go, and again we kind of huff and puff, but don't really show enough guile or enough character or personality to want to try and create something to try and get that equaliser, and then we just turned it into a kind of battle towards the end, the last 5-10 minutes, and again Joe gets half a chance, I think, to maybe get the equaliser, but all in all, the fans were entitled for us to do more.
You mentioned about the physicality. They're a big, strong side, aren't they? But you've got to match them in some way. That's the starting point in any game, isn't it?
I don't think it was physical, as in terms of height and weight, that we struggled with. I think it's just matching running and stopping crosses and all of these kind of things that we didn't do enough of in that early stages, which you've got to do in any game of football. We didn't do that enough or well enough early on, and that was the reason why we got a goal down so early.
Do you think the players themselves are sort of feeling a little bit of pressure, of being in games but not getting that first goal, and then you go behind in a game like today and it deflates them a little bit?
I don't know. I'm trying to be honest and trying to think about it. I think you've got to start games better when you know. In any game of football, you've got to match the running. You've got to cause them a problem. You've got to see who bends first. And we today were the ones that bent first from the start. We just didn't really allow ourselves to kind of get any kind of foothold in the game by not matching the running or being aggressive enough. So that's the reason why we went a goal down.
I imagine the pressure on players, when you're not winning games. How does that feel from your perspective?
Well, we're not losing games, but Grimsby had been losing games. We weren't. We were drawing games. We were drawing tough games. We were drawing tough games away from home. But it doesn't matter. You turn up for a game of football. You have to go out there and compete. You have to get out there and run and match or be the one that sets the tempo. That's just the way that football is. You've got to go and do that, and we didn't have the attitude to do that today.
You talk about the messages they knew before they went out there today. Have you had to give them the same messages in the dressing room after the game as well?
Yeah, we spoke at the end of the game, and that'll be between us. But you can be assured that we've spoke about what it takes to play for Tranmere and what needs to happen more, or the running battles that need to be won in order for us to win games of football. And we keep saying that they're young, and they are, and there is a lot of development left in a lot of them, and maybe part of the development is learning that you have to do that. I don't want to be seen to be making excuses, because we did speak before the game and we said, look, we have to match the running here, and we have to be aggressive here. We were running and be determined that we're going to put what we do in a game of football onto the pitch, and we didn't do that.
And Northampton last week, you got a lot of the things you wanted, and then 7 days later, and it's not what you want. Can you explain that in any way?
No, if I could do that, Derek, then we'd be having a different conversation. I can't. Football, the toughest thing to sort of see, or you don't have the hindsight of is what kind of performance that they're going to give you. You just go out there and believe that they're going to give you the same again. But consistency is always the big thing. But when you speak about it, it's obviously very frustrating when you speak about it before the game and you say the things that you know that are going to need to happen today in order for us to get any kind of result, and you don't get that. That is very frustrating. It's part of football, and the tough part of football.
And the frustration of the fans. They expect more, don't they? And they will always look at you, won't you, as the leader, as somebody who might change that for them. What can you say to them?
I've got. Listen, nobody feels more for the supporters than me. That's for sure. I know that it costs money to come here, and I know that it was a really cold day, and how hard it is to get here, and how tough it's going to be to get home. So I get all that. I understand all that. I come from the kind of parts of my life, and I come from humble beginnings as well. So morally, I understand all that. So nobody has to say that to me. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep working with them. You just got to keep working hard on the training pitch and create the situations, or try and work on their mentality that they learn, and they try and grow from it, and they try and get better. That's all you can do. And then you just, when they cross the line, they've got to go and deliver on that and understand that. And then, quite rightly, the fallout now comes in the manager, because he's got to explain why the team didn't do that. That's again is a frustrating thing about being a manager, when you know that you've spoke about that. But that's what the job's all about. That's what happens. It comes back to the manager, and if you don't understand that, then don't be a manager. That's the way it goes. But no, listen, I feel for everybody. I think about them first, and then I'll suffer over the next couple of days, trying to work out a way of helping them forward, and trying to make it happen again.
And just a word about no Elliot Niven in the squad today.
He's injured. So Ended wasn't here, is injured, and wouldn't been able to take part.
And Reece McAleer, obviously back on the bench today, and we saw Joel Mulmongo for the first time in a while. Is he sort of almost match fit? Is he getting close to it?
No, he's never on there. But sometimes you have to take risks and gambles. Wouldn't ever take in with somebody's health, but sometimes you have to take a risk and a gamble, and I thought we have to take a risk and a gamble, get young Jake on, get a bit of enthusiasm from him, and he did great when he came on. And Joel is a handful, but he's nowhere near fit. But he gave us. I'm not disappointed about making that substitution, put it that way, because now he's not got injured again, and he's not done anything to his previous injury. And what he did when he came on, I was happy he battled away, and I wasn't bothered about making that substitution now.